People who don't speak English as a first language don't realize how little English Americans know.
Hi, my name is Woody. I'm a linguist and professor of the English language, not here to argue, but to educate. And unfortunately, most of what you said is either completely wrong or stems from a mischaracterization of research that you probably haven't read yourself.
If you cannot read and most people cannot spell, you literally don't know the basic fundamentals of your own language.
With all due respect, you literally don't know what basic fundamentals of language are. Language is what we speak. It is defined by how native speakers speak. Reading and writing are just representations. Most people in most languages throughout most of history never learned to read anything. Does that mean they didn't know their own language? Of course not. They were native speakers. They were fully fluent.
You speak very simply. You don't like big words. You think it's not that serious and not that deep.
I agree this is part of a media literacy problem because now a lot of people think the curtains were just fucking blue and that's it. They should be paying more attention in high school English class, which might be better named media literacy class.
To understand grammar of the one single language that you can speak.
Again, the people who scored lowest on the literacy test and brought the average down were people who literally did not speak English.
Lack of vocabulary is why you can't get a job.
I'm sure that's true for some people, but I'm sure a lot of other highly qualified people think you're totally devaluing just a lot of the flaws that employers have with their recruiting systems these days. As if using longer words is going to make their job safe instead of being replaced by AI or machines or greed.
You literally don't have the words to speak about the experiences that you've had. You can't have a healthy relationship because you can't express what you're feeling.
Trust me, people have all the words they need to express their feelings. They might not know how to put their emotions into words, and that's the problem, but that's something for therapists to talk about. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not one of those, and you also haven't shown any evidence to support that.
So many issues in America stem from the fact that people have no vocabulary and a very limited understanding of their own language.
A lot of issues in America do stem from a lack of media literacy, which you've wonderfully demonstrated. Because a foreigner uses big words in English as a second language doesn't mean they know the language better than a native speaker, because the language is literally created and defined by those native speakers. Flip the script. I'm a fluent speaker of Spanish and I lived in Colombia. So let's say I go back. Does it really make sense if I go to the local people there and say, I know your native language better than you do? That's why you have so many problems in this country, because you don't know your own language as much as I do. That's why I use longer words. Does that really make sense? That's rhetorical. The answer is no. Every native speaker's accent, dialect, and language, the way everybody speaks around the world, no matter what they look or sound like, are all equally valid and beautiful and just as correct and complete as any other speaker of that language. Just because they don't speak the language the way you want them to doesn't mean they know less of that language. You do not decide what a language is or how much of it people should learn. It is determined and created by its native speakers. That kind of rhetoric only serves hate and division, and I want you to know you are loved. If anyone watching my video wants to go to that creator's video and leave a comment, please say "know you are loved" with a blue heart. Thank you for your time.